Hey guys, it's Bree. So today's video is going to be on darker coloured cloth pads. So one of the main benefits that I've thought for a long time but never really done a video specifically on is the benefits to using cloth pads in terms of colours. So obviously with disposable pads, the typical brands, they only do kind of white with maybe a bit of blue or purple patterns on them, but they are in general really light colours that are really easy to see your blood on. For some people who are really squeamish, cloth might actually be a really good option for you. So to give you an example, I have here a black cloth pad. So black is one of the many colours that obviously you can get with cloth pads. You can get them in all sorts of fabrics, colours, patterns, designs, shapes, whatever. But today's video is focusing specifically on the darker colours because there are a few benefits to this I want to mention. So the first one is they cover up your menstrual blood. For those of you who are squeamish, this might be a real plus for you because you really can't see it when you take it off. I mean, you could see there's a kind of damp patch on them, but you really just can't tell that it's blood. So this could be a really good option for you if you are interested in cloth but are worried about the kind of squeamish side of it, then black is probably an answer for you. The other colours that are pretty good at hiding menstrual blood are dark brown. I haven't really got a dark brown pad. This one has patterns on it, but you can see here. This one's quite good. Dark purple. This is, sorry, this is crushed velvet. Another dark purple one. And also red. I have actually done a video of this pad when I bled on it. It's in my how to wash a cloth pad by hand video. If you're squeamish about blood, don't watch it obviously. But I have actually shown you what this looks like when it's been bled on. It just looks like there's a damp patch on it, but you can't tell that it's blood obviously because this is red, so blood's red as well. The other main benefit to using these sorts of colours, which I think is the best benefit and the reason I like darker coloured cloth pads, is the fact that they are really, really difficult to stain. I don't think I've ever had a stain on any of these cloth pads. Well, maybe on this one because it's got quite a light pattern up here, but to be honest, they very rarely do. So this means that if you are like me and you're incredibly lazy with your cleaning methods, but you really want to prevent staining, this is the perfect option for you because this pad, well, black especially, I mean, even if you stain it, you're never going to see it because it's just so dark. So these darker colours are great for that too. The really easy stain method that I find that you can use when you're using these darker pads, or for any pad at all, if you're not worried about staining, then you can just use light coloured pads, whatever colour you want, and just do them the same way. But if you are worried about staining but you just don't want to do the long method, then maybe consider buying darker print pads because they will be really difficult to stain. What you do is when you use the pad, I'm going to use this one as an example, I should probably just say this is an Miller pad. These two are Novel Red. This is a Two Peas Creations, that's on Etsy, and so is Novel Red. And this is another Miller, and she's got her own website. So let's use this one as an example. When you've bled on this, what you would do with a typical disposable is obviously you bleed on it, you go to the bathroom, you take it off, fold it up, put it in the trash can, take a new one out and put it onto your pads. Instead of doing that with a cloth pad, what you do is you take the cloth pad off, fold it in half, and put it into a large wet bag. This one is mine. It's actually one of my own brands just because I really like the size of it, and the other one I have is by Popolini, but it doesn't have this strap, which means I can't hang it up in my bathroom. But this one is just a giant bag. This one has two zips, but you only need one with one. I just have the two because when I go travelling, I like to have the dry pocket as well because it means I can just store all the pads that I'm taking with me on my travelling, and I don't need to take lots of other stuff. I just have one big wet bag. But what I would do is I take this folded up pad, and instead of throwing it in the trash can, I just unzip this, put it into the pocket, and zip it up again. Put a new cloth pad on. That's it. You can just leave this hanging on your door. Just going to hang it on the side here. Just hang it on your door and keep going to the end of your cycle if you don't have pads. Or when that starts to get full, or when you start to run low on pads, what you then do is instead of when your trash can gets full and you take it out and just put it into the rubbish bin, you take this down to your washing machine. Obviously by this point it'll be quite full with cloth pads. You don't need to do anything to them in the meantime, just literally fold them up dry, or when they're soiled you don't need to wet them, don't need to add any stain remover to them. With dark pads it's unlikely to stain obviously. Just take this down to your washing machine, unzip it, and put it straight into the washing machine. You don't need to take them out or anything, you just put this straight into your washing machine. Very good if you're squeamish because you don't have to even look at them or touch them, just put them straight in. Once they're in your washing machine, what I like to do is usually do a cold rinse with them, but that's because I have lighter colours as well. But you don't have to do that if you want to keep it really easy, and especially if you've got darker colours, because again, they won't stain. Well, very unlikely to stain. Put them in, then I use Ekava laundry gel. You can use the bio or the non-bio, it works fine either way. Basically just put that cap, if you're using a cap, put it inside the washing machine, shut the washing machine door, or if you're just using laundry detergent powder, put it in the place where you would usually put it. And I also add 1 scoop of OxiClean. I forgot to do this my last cycle, and actually my pad still came out pretty clean, but some of the lighter colours did stain, none of the darker ones did, so you might be able to skip the step, especially if you want to. So that might be good if you're really eco-conscious and you don't want those chemicals. You can use a natural detergent, and you don't really need to use a stain remover either, but I would still add that in. Shut it, and then I put it on a 30 to 40 degree wash on an average cycle, you know, and then I'll give it an extra spin at the end of the cycle because that helps the drying time for these. All you do by that point is, because you unzip this, the pads will be everywhere but they'll be clean, just take them out and hang them up to dry. So that is why I really like doing this method, because it's just super easy. I just have to grab my drying rack at the end and put them all out, and this just hangs on my door. So those are, I think, the main benefits to using darker cloth pads, and in fact I do now aim to try and get darker cloth pads because I am so lazy with my methods, but I really like to keep the pads looking clean for you guys, and I'll only stain treat them because I think, you know, it looks nice for the camera. But in reality I wouldn't bother with any of that anyway. So if you are like me, you want to use a really lazy cleaning method, don't want to have too much stress or anything, but you really want the nice prints and your nice patterns, but you just don't want them to stain, then maybe go for the darker prints and patterns because there's still plenty of them as well. Cotton tends to be good because it won't get the gritty, what I call the gritty stains. OBV tends to grip clotty blood, which is why it's not so good with the stain method like this. You usually need to scrub it off a bit, but Minky will be fine. Minky obviously doesn't stain, but if you are squeamish about blood, then obviously Minky, there's a fluff right there, Minky is not going to cover that up, but a darker colour Minky would. So again, any of the fabrics really will work with this method too. So I hope you like this video, guys. If you want to know more about that cleaning method I talked to, because I know some people find it easier to read to see if it's written down, that cleaning method is called my Super Easy Cleaning Method on my website. If you go onto the Precious Stars page, it's always linked down below, and just click onto How to Clean My Cloth Pads. Scroll down to see the super easy way. That's basically that method just written down if you want to get a more clear idea of it, because I know sometimes I talk really quickly, in fact all the time. But thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe. Don't forget you can get cloth pads from Precious Stars, and I will talk to you later. Bye bye.